Hello everyone, welcome back to Dugout Daily. I'm Charlie and today we have another video. This time we are previewing the 23-24 Premier League season opener as the season kicks off with a champions against champions showdown on Friday night as my team Manchester City begin our latest top flight title defence against last season's championship champions Burnley at Turf Moor. Before we get going, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Dugout Daily, the football channel, hit the Apex F1 channel, and at MCFC Hibs on Twitter. Pep Guardiola's men go into the new campaign off the back of an unforgettable treble-winning season, and their first hurdle to yet more history this time around comes in the shape of one of the club's greatest ever players, Burnley boss Vincent Kompany. Even for a club that has enjoyed such enormous success as Manchester City have in the Guardiola era, the 22-23 campaign will live long in the memory as the citizens swept all before them. The blue half of Manchester joined the red half as the only English clubs to have completed the fabled treble of the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League, with City getting our hands on the Champions League for the first time in our history. The challenge now will be to continue scaling such unprecedented heights. Manchester City have had no problem backing up one domestic title success with another, but the Champions League was the club's holy grail, and there can so often be a drop off after a team has reached the top of the mountain. There have been a few signs that Manchester City will let their standards slip, though, as they once again go into the new season as favourites to lift the Premier League title, something that would see them become the first team in history to lift 4 top-flight English titles on the bounce and further strengthen their claim to being the best team this country has ever produced. There is a long road ahead of them before they can begin thinking about that, though, and some eyebrows may have been raised by their defeats to Atletico Madrid in pre-season and Arsenal on penalties in the Community Shield. Guardiola will no doubt point to the fact that they have lost the Community Shield in each of the previous 2 seasons as well, yet gone on to win the title. But with many of their rivals spending big to strengthen this summer, there's more optimism than usual that City's dominance could be challenged by more than one team this season. The champions have also bolstered their ranks during the summer with Josko Gvardiol and Mateo Kovacic arriving, although they've lost 2 key figures of their recent success in captain Ilkay Gundogan and Riyad Mahrez. Question marks also remain over the futures of Kyle Walker and Bernardo Silva, and while more incomings are sure to arrive too, there's a valid debate as to whether Manchester City have been weakened overall so far this summer. The first real test of that theory will be a stern one on Friday night as they jointly raise the curtain on the new campaign with Burnley, a team led by their legendary former captain Kompany. It's a very different Burnley to the one which was relegated from the Premier League in the 21-22 season, with Kompany managing to instantly change the footballing philosophy and experience success with the Clarets en route to the Championship title last season. Burnley wrapped up a whopping 101 points and lost just 3 games, including only once at home in the notoriously difficult second tier, scoring the league-high 87 goals and conceding a league-low 35 on their way to finishing 10 points clear of their closest rivals. There's little argument that Burnley were comfortably the best team in the Championship last season, but throughout the campaign, Kompany was at pains to stress that such a status only made them the 21st best team in England. The Belgians will now have the chance to prove just where they really rank amongst England's elite, and most pre-season predictions have them avoiding relegation at least. Burnley have moved to address the step up in quality by being busy in the transfer market, bringing in Zeki Amdouni, James Trafford, Jordan Bayer, Dara O'Shea, Michael Obafemi, Luca Koleosho, Nathan Redmond, Lawrence Vigouroux, Jakob Brun-Larsen and Sander Berge for around £75 million in total. Pre-season results have largely been good as those new arrivals attempt to get on the same page before the real business begins, with a 2-0 defeat to Genk the only blot on their copybook from 5 outings. Victories over Benfica, Burton and Sheffield Wednesday would have more than made up for that reverse, while their last friendly outing saw them draw with Real Betis. Kompany will now will know better than most that his side could hardly have been given a more difficult test from which to start life back in the Premier League, but the Turf Moor crowd will be in full voice under the floodlights, and the hosts will hope that could spur them on towards an eye-catching upset. Recent history is firmly against the Clarets, though, with Manchester City winning 15 and losing none of the last 16 meetings between these two sides, the last 11 of which have been a whopping aggregate score of 41. Indeed, Manchester City have scored 5 goals or more in 5 of those 11 meetings, while Burnley's last goal against Friday's opponents came in December 2019, which was 8 meetings ago. So Burnley's pre-season form is win-win-loss, win-draw, and Manchester City's pre-season form was win-win, loss-loss. Manchester City's Kevin De Bruyne was something of a surprise inclusion in the matchday squad for the Community Shield following the injuries sustained in the Champions League final, coming off the bench but missing a penalty in the shootout. The Belgian's cameo raises hopes that he could be fit to start this match, and Guardiola also confirmed in his pre-match press conference that Nathan Ake, their only other lingering doubt, is ready to feature too. Erling Haaland will lead the line as he looks to rival his record figures from his debut season in England, which saw him plunder an unprecedented haul of 36 goals in just 35 appearances. Walker is understood to be leaning towards staying at Manchester City amid interest from Bayern Munich, and so he could start at right back, while new arrival Gvardiol may need time to force his way into the first team setup despite being fit to play. João Cancelo is back at the club and has featured in pre-season, so he could be an option at left back, although Ake or Manuel Akanji are more likely starters there. Kovacic could go straight into the lineup as a like-for-like replacement for the departed Gundogan. As for Burnley, they will be without one of their new arrivals in Obafemi after he was forced to undergo hamstring surgery. They could name a number of other new signings in their starting 11, though, including Trafford in goal against his former club. Berger only arrived from Sheffield United on Wednesday and so may not be thrown straight into the side, although Bayer, O'Shea, Redmond and Zaroury could all feature from the off. One of the big challenges for Burnley will be to replace the goals of last season's top scorer Nathan Tella, who has returned to parent club Southampton, and company could go with experience to lead the line for this opener in the form of Jay Rodriguez. So the predicted teams then, starting with Burnley, we're gone with Trafford in goal, a back four of Roberts, Bayer, O'Shea and Vitinho, with Cork and Cullen in midfield, Redmond, Brownhill and Zaroury behind Rodriguez in attack. And the predicted team for Manchester City is Ederson in goal, Walker, Stones, Diaz and Akanji at the back, with Kovacic, Rodri and De Bruyne in midfield, Bernardo, Haaland and Grealish in attack. Turf Moor was a fortress in the Championship last season, so it will be bouncing as Premier League football returns under the floodlights on Friday, so we're expecting the host to give the champions a stern opening test. If it was any other team visiting on the opening day, we may even back Burnley to come away with a result, but Manchester City are as good as it gets, and it will take more than a raucous atmosphere to stop the treble winners in their tracks. The citizens simply have more quality all over the pitch, and Burnley's style of football may play into the visitors' hands as well. So I'm backing City to begin our latest title defence in winning style. So I predict Burnley 0, Manchester City 2. So that is it for this video then. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Dugout Daily, the football channel. Hit the Apex F1 channel and at MCFC Hibs on Twitter. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching and we'll speak to you all soon. Take care and goodbye.